Let's see the strengths of the Pro model and the differences between the Pro and Vario model. One of the best that we have added to the new model is the assisted locking system. And it allows us to tighten and loosen with the foot applying maximum force. Another improvement we have incorporated is the new oversized nut, in which we have increased the contact surface on both sides and the contact surface of the threads. All this favors that the nut cannot be loosened during cutting to use a single disc. We would mount the nut in this position, which has a recess to save the shaft neck that remains unused. To mount more than one disc we would use, these spacers are not included in the machine. They can be purchased as an accessory. With 2 discs we could make a groove approximately 10 mm, and with 3 discs we can make a groove 15 meters. With the 3-disc setup, we would mount the nut in this position. With a recess outward, we always tighten in the opposite direction to the direction of rotation of the cut. With the assembly of 3 discs in parallel, we managed to make it behave like a scraper, achieving a clean groove of 15 mm. The new tensioning system moves the motor while always keeping the axis of the disc and the axis of the motor parallel. This automatic tensioner can also be purchased as an optional accessory, which what it avoids is having to move the motor every time we want to tighten or replace belts. The installation, as you can see, is very simple. We would act on the 2 upper screws, the 2 lower, introducing a flat wrench. 14, 15 we go up to replace male, or we go down to tighten. It's an operation of about 5 minutes. We are in position 1. We have stopped the assembly a little to show you this new improvement. We've set up a retainer that with them what it is going to do is extend the life of the bearing. We are at the end of line 1, position 3, right where the machines leave assembled ready for packaging, and it is the best place to explain to you another of the advantages of the shock absorber compared to the traditional up and down rolling pin system. We are going to lower the machine, in this case with a hoist simulating an unloading from a truck. The first thing that will make contact with the ground is the front wheels of the frame. When we lower, the stress of the frame is transmitted upwards. The housing and bearing would break, in this case one of the advantages of the shock absorber. No matter how fast we go down and very strong, and I am able to recreate more than 1000 kilos upwards. The shock absorber, which normally behaves rigid in extension and compression beyond 1000 kilos, will behave elastically. It is for this reason another of the advantages that the shock absorber will never be damaged, nor will any other success behave elastically. The new Vario version mounts 3 forks to be able to cut with parallel discs separated 5 and 10 centimeters. For cuts with 1 disc, we use the nut. For cuts with 3 discs, we must disassemble the first fork and use the separators and the nut for parallel cuts. 5 cm apart, we use the 5 cm spreader. We use this pipe. And the fixation would be by screw. Parallel cuts separated by 10 cm, we change the spacer to the 10 cm 1. We assemble this blow and screw. My recommendation for work with more than 1 disc maximum power coal is 14 horses. They have 1 more horse and 40 cm 3 rather friends. Well, you know, new Cobra 45 Pro 2023 cuts from 1 to 3 discs. Maximum groove of 15 mm, clean synthesis assembly and bearing. Cuts of 1 and 2 discs in parallel separated 5 and 10 cm. You can purchase the standard machine with this protection, and then if you need to make cuts of 5 and 10 cm, you only have to purchase the disc guard and the separators. We remove the guard, we put the new one and its separators, or you can purchase the model directly from the factory with the Vario assembly. There is no planned obsolescence here. As you can see, they are improvements that extend the life of the product, which will reduce spending on maintenance and spare parts. When buying a machine, you should not only look at the initial price. On a cheaper $100 or $150 machine, it can mean an annual maintenance expense of more than $1,000. With the new improvements, that maintenance cost is reduced to less than half. Save $100 on the purchase of an asphalt cutter. Improves the income statement of the purchasing department, but doubles or triples the maintenance data of the entire machinery fleet and the income statement of the rental department. As we go deeper, we will swing the machine back and forth to make room for the disc until we reach the maximum depth we want. If we insert the disc without rocking the machine, we will probably cause the motor to stop before we start trimming. I use a spray silicone, remove it 8021 to make it easier for the company to take off when we go on the field. The spray inside the protection, the entire area is below the wheels. Everything where the cement is going to be damaged, and then it takes a lot of work to remove it when it dries. As long as we can use water from the street water network, I recommend always carrying the barrel full of water. A drum full of water is the best of vibrations. Also, the full drum adds weight to the machine so that the disc can drive in more easily.